Hello and welcome to fourth grade at Mill Creek. My name is Liz Lederman and I am your child's classroom teacher. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what to expect this year in fourth grade. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Batavia. I'm a Batavia Bulldog at heart. I went to college at North Central where I studied elementary education and I have a minor in reading. Just a couple years ago, I went back to school and I got my master's degree from Aurora University in reading instruction. And this is my 9th year teaching at Mill Creek, my very first year teaching fourth grade, but I did 8 years in third grade, so I'm pretty familiar with what's going on. I am happily married to my wonderful husband, and we just welcomed our first son. His name is Jack last year. He's 10 months old and just the absolute best. So, a few of my favorite things. I obviously love teaching. It is what I am meant to do. Um, you will also find me sometimes running through the McDonald's drive-through after work, getting that large, delicious Coke from there. You can find me at Target on the weekends most of the time. I love reading. I love going on weekend road trips, and I love spending time with my family. Here is 4L, my awesome group of 23 fourth graders. I have absolutely adored getting to know them these last few weeks, and hopefully they are just as excited about fourth grade as I am. Here is our daily class schedule. Every morning the kids come in and they do morning work. We are having them practice their cursive writing again, which they love. We have our math block in the morning. We do have our specials. Then we do a little bit of science or social studies depending on the month. And then we end our morning with our 90-minute reading block. I've included our special schedule so that you know when your kiddo has those different specials throughout the week. We take our lunch recess first, and then the kids have lunch at 12:30. And then we end our day in the afternoon with writing and some book nook time, which is silent reading. This year in reading, we're going to be doing a lot of different things, novel studies, interactive read aloud. We'll focus a lot on comprehension and critical thinking. We start our 90-minute reading block with whole group reading, meaning we're all working on a strategy together. And then we do break up into smaller groups and we do some guided reading so that I can really focus on targeting specific reading areas that the students need some support with. Um, we just started our weekly reading homework this past week, so hopefully you saw that page come home. The expectation is that students are reading 20 minutes a night. Hopefully they're reading their Viking book for their Viking Passport project. And by the end of the week, they are required to write a little response telling me about what they have read throughout the week. This is super helpful for the Viking Passport project because then they're remembering what they're reading throughout the week and hopefully taking some good notes on those stories. Spelling will officially start after Labor Day. Students will receive a spelling list on Monday. They will also receive a packet. That packet is homework for the week, but it does not need to be turned in. The students will be tested on Friday, and there are differentiated lists available. So if your student scores 100% on the previous week's test, they will have the option to then study the challenge list B words the following week. In science this year, we are going to be doing mystery science again, which is super exciting. We're going to be exploring birth of rocks, energizing everything, human machine, and waves of sound. In social studies, we'll be talking about geography and map skills, regions of the United States, and of course, our awesome states and capitals. You know that this is differentiated based on your students' needs. You signed that contract, and I'm excited to get that going. For math this year, we will be continuing with our Eureka Math curriculum. So the students will be learning about operations and algebraic thinking, number and operations in base 10. We'll be going over fractions, measurement and data, and some geometry towards the end of the year. Our 60-minute math block will consist of going over problem sets, exit tickets, and homework pages, along with making sure the kids have time to get onto happy numbers. This year in fourth grade, we will also be doing flexible grouping, which means your child could have a different math teacher for math instruction. We will meet as a team and go over pre-tests that the students took to determine the best fit for them. So that information will be coming home on Tuesday the 7th. You will know who your kiddo will have for math for this first module 1. Another thing that I want to talk about real quickly is fact fluency. So it is our hope by the end of the year that our fourth graders have mastered their basic multiplication facts. So I suggest going and getting some math flashcards if you don't already have some, and just have your student practice those multiplication facts a couple times a week or once a night just for a few minutes to make sure that they're really mastering those facts this year. If you ever have any questions about what's going on in math, we have a great resource on our Geneva 304 website where you can watch lesson tutorials on the lessons that the students are being taught each day. So I have included that link on this page. Technology will be a big part of our day in fourth grade. We will be working on different typing programs, talking about digital citizenship, working through our email, and doing a lot of different assignments on Microsoft Teams. Please make sure your child has working headphones. We do use those throughout the day for different websites that require sound. A little bit about my classroom management. I do use Champs to set up expectations for different activities throughout the day. So we talk about things like what should our voice level be? How do we ask for help? What activity are we working on? Are we up and moving around the classroom? How are we participating in order to be successful in our day? I have a couple of incentives and reward programs in place for the kids. I use copying good tickets to individually reward the students when they are copying good or when they're following expectations. And then we do have a whole class reward system where we have 3 goals that we are working towards 20 marks on our each chart so that in the end we can earn some fun classroom rewards. I also think it's important that students are accountable for their actions. So if you ever see a think sheet come home, please know that your child may have not made the best choice throughout the day and it's something that we had to talk about. I almost always email home as well so that you know what's going on. I told the students that in the last 5 years of teaching, I think I've had to have one student fill this sheet out. So I am hopeful that we can keep the streak of having no students have to fill out a think sheet this year. So let's encourage that. I've included our class website that can be found on the Mill Creek webpage. And this is a website that has some helpful tips for the Viking reading program. It has all of our spelling information on there. It has the math video tutorial link on there, as well as a link to our Symbaloo that we use that has a lot of different websites that the kids access throughout the day. So I've included this link for you to take a look at this. If you ever have any questions, then you can just let me know. The best way to contact me is through email. I check my messages when I get here in the morning, and then before I leave by 4 o'clock every school day. I also check my email during specials and lunch, so those are the best times to reach me. I want to say thank you for supporting me this year as I embark on my first year of teaching fourth grade with your kids. I am confident that we're going to have a great year together, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with all of you. I do have a Twitter account if you want to follow us at eLeaderman304. I try and post some fun things that we do throughout the school year. Thanks again. I hope you all have a great night.